We entered the worn-down building of Elcor's branch facility. The deeper we advanced into the dark ahead, the awful stench rising from the underground floor only grew stronger. Ugh, the smell. It's awful. I can feel the waste collecting in my lungs. The odor is so intense it circles back around to refreshing.
Let me warn you one last time. If you die here, Dante won't be able to revive you, even when the battle has finished.
Revive?
Must be a popular joke or something. I can't even follow the kind of stories that are going around in the city these days.
They seem to have misunderstood us, but seeing as Faust made no comment on it, I decided not to add my input, because we could now almost make out the sources of the rancid smell before our eyes. Looks like they've been dead for a while. An astute observation, Executive Manager. The corpses have reached the stage of active decay.
Ugh, the bugs are having a feast over there.
Let's just hurry along.
Huh? Something up, Gregor, babe? Are you scared of bugs?
Now, while I believe you're not so immature as to shove dead bugs in people's faces, but just in case one of them... Put it away! You think that's funny?
I mean, it is hilarious. Who would have thought that you, of all people, would be scared of these creepy crawlies? Greg? Did it bother you that much?
Forget it.
You there! Stop with your mischief this instant! Do not cause additional concerns for our manager.
Hold on. This body here, it's still warm.
Such is the sign of a recent attack. The gloom that had cast over Yuri's face cleared after observing the bodies. These aren't our... I mean, Lobotomy Corporation's employees.
I heard these buried facilities are considered pure gold mines now, attracting all sorts looking for a jackpot. Phrases like the lobotomy dream or the Enkephalon rush are apparently starting to catch on amongst fixers and syndicates.
LDE rush. Got a nice ring to it.
Really appreciate the input. Totally worth the long silence.
Is such a frivolous use of English not prone to blurring the original meaning?
That's what I'm saying. Huh, you seem to be talking a lot more than usual, Yi-sang.
Does that reflect strangely?
He was never really the quiet sort. He only had a shift recently.
It's not a bad thing to have more lackeys with keen eyes. I'd like you to keep that up. Let us march.
You make yourself look like the captain here. I dare say that role belongs to the manager.
Please forgive my insolence, Executive Manager.
Frowning as though she were caught off guard, Otis bows to me as she apologizes.
No, it's nothing. Let's head down.
Most of the corpses' body parts were morphed in bizarre ways. One had insect wings protruding through their intestines, and another had horribly twisted antennae hanging down.
These look kind of similar to the thugs we ran into just before, don't they? You mean those bug-headed people? Quiet! I'm seeing uniformed tangos ahead.
As Otis noted, multiple figures could be seen down the corridor.
Uniform. What? What's that?
Unidentified targets. Possibly hostile.
I'm sure we all had the same idea as to what Otis was referring to. The enigmatic abnormalities that might be roaming this facility, as Faust mentioned. That might be what those shadowy figures are. We have no choice but to face them.
Hey, who goes there?
What we confronted weren't the creatures we had anticipated, but people. It was too early to be relieved, though.
I thought we were the only people around here. Did they slip past our team at the entrance? These scavengers keep coming one after the other.
Oi, bug buggers. You friends with the bodies back there?
Bodies? You bastards didn't... Wait, I don't know which hole you scum crawled out of, but hear me out. You're here for the Enkephalon, aren't ya? If you go just one floor down, there's a treasure trove just waiting to be nabbed. Whatever's on that floor is yours. We'll just take what we can here and be on our way.
So you recognized me, huh?
The moment the soldier's eyes landed on Gregor's face, their thin veil of affability crumbled.
You fucking traitor!
You must have been dispatched to the front lines too. Don't I look better in real life than I do on those flyers?
Cut the crap! I can't believe I used to salute to your face.
Whoa, easy there. Not like you had to salute me in person.
You didn't suffer from a single side effect, did you? You got to live a normal life, all thanks to that damned privilege of yours. We never even got a chance, you two-faced piece of shit! They discarded us like trash the moment we lost the war.
I was tossed out all the same, you know. Isn't that a soldier's life, to be discarded? And I see where you decided to take your life from there, rifling through trash and gunk like actual vermin.
Halt! No good can come out of taunting your foe.
You served in the military too. You know where this is going. We're not getting out of this without a fight.
We were planning to let you through. We really were. But now I'm gonna make mincemeat out of you and your traitor friend.
Like hell you were. You were gonna wait for us to climb back up with the Enkefallen so you could backstab us and swipe it.
Wait, were they?
They've smashed right past rock bottom a long time ago. Don't expect them to care a whit for honor, eh? Well off or broke, people turn on each other as long as there's something. You're way too naive to think otherwise.
Moving in.
Next. Next.
Gregor lights his cigarette and takes a drag before sighing a long plume of smoke. They'd have fared better than this if they got a job at a security company or something. Being a soldier is all they've ever known. The changes required for them to start a new life must have been overwhelming.
You have no idea how stubbornly the stigma of being a fallen winged remnant will cling to you. If anyone's generous enough to take you in, licking their boots is the least you can do. Oh, sorry about that. Should have chosen my words more carefully.
No, it's fine. I'm sure things were rough with G-Corps' fall too. The breaking of a wing is a turbulent affair for many people.
Entities known as abnormalities may be found in dungeons. A different kind of approach is needed in encounters against abnormalities. Battles that employ this different approach are called focused encounters. Let's explore its mechanics. All abnormalities have one or more parts. Each part has their own set of skill slots and speed values.
Abnormality parts. Abnormalities often have multiple parts that can be targeted. Each part uses skills from its assigned skill slots, and its speed values can change from turn to turn.
In focused encounters, you must select the sinner's skill icons and chain them directly to the abnormality skill slots. Select a skill from the leftmost column of the dashboard. Now, drag them from the selected skill to this enemy skill slot to chain them. Remember, in focused encounters, you connect the sinner's skills directly to the enemy skill slots. Please press the gear on the left if you would like to zoom out and view the entire battlefield. Pressing the gear on the left while zoomed in will reset your field of view. Once you have connected every available skill to the enemy skill slots, the gear icon on the right, the button to enter the combat phase, will activate. Only then can you proceed to the combat phase. Chain every sinner's skills to the enemy slots, then start the combat phase using the gear icon on the right.
Charging in. I spotted a vulnerability. I did it!
Next. Next. Piss easy.
Speed determines the order of actions taken in focus encounters. The speed assigned to each unit for this turn can be viewed here, next to their skill slots. Speed of all allied units can be viewed here on the dashboard as well. As you have just seen, focus encounters are conducted by chaining your unit's skills directly to enemy skill slots. Now, let's learn how to handle situations where several enemies are focusing on a single allied unit. Hover over, then select this unit's skill slot here. Allies with faster speeds can force enemies with slower speeds to redirect their attacks and clash with them instead by chaining their own skill against the enemies. Select a faster center and chain their skill against the enemies. As demonstrated here, allies with faster speeds than the enemy can strategically draw attacks targeting other allies to themselves, depending on the flow of battle.
When ally speed is greater than enemy speed. If an allied unit's speed is faster than the enemy unit's, the allied unit can redirect the targeting of the enemy's skill to themselves. Once redirected, the allied unit and the enemy unit will clash.
Another thing to note regarding targeting and redirecting: an allied unit targeted by an enemy skill can still clash against that skill, regardless of their own speed. Chain your skills against the enemies.
When targeted by enemy skills. Allies targeted by enemy skills can clash against skills targeting themselves regardless of speed.
If an allied unit's speed is equal to or slower than the enemy's, they cannot redirect the enemy's skill and may instead perform an unopposed attack.
When ally speed is less than or equal to the enemy's speed, allies with lower or equal speed values cannot force enemies with faster speed to target them. In such cases, both units will perform an unopposed attack, marked by blue arrows, instead of engaging in a clash first. Faster unit will attack first. Unopposed attacks skip clashes and strike directly.
While multiple skills may target a single slot, only the last skill chained to it will clash. The others will activate as unopposed attacks. Sometimes it can be an effective strategy to forego clashes and have multiple units use unopposed attacks against a single dangerous enemy, even if it leaves them exposed to attacks from others.
I did it!
Piss easy. Next.
I've never seen those before. I don't...
You don't know?
Hopkins's face quickly turned into a cold frown. The expression on his face was such a far cry from his sycophancy before Virgilius that it sent shivers down my spine. No, that's not what I...
Don't you know why we bothered to let a fallen wing's feather into our office?
to deal with requests taking place in Elcor branches more safely.
Exactly. I didn't expect much from a low-rank agent. You had 2 simple jobs: lead the way and tell us how to deal with those abnormalities or whatever they're called. And now, you're saying you don't know what these monsters are? Well, what are we supposed to do here then, huh?
Gosh, Hopkins, feeling hangry? Go easy on her. If they are in fact new to Miss Yuri, then these might be another type of entity derived from abnormalities. Perhaps a new species.
That corporation might not have had every specimen in their confines either. Miss Yuri, there is no reason to lambast yourself for neglecting to remember what you were never taught.
Thank you, sir. What's there to argue about? We only need to beat him to death, don't we?
Give the word and we'll do it.
Roger that.
Down they sink.
I am awaiting your next order.
An obvious outcome.
Roger that.
I spotted a vulnerability. Impressive! I had expected no less of the Red Gaze's underlings.
Underlings. Oh boy, there goes Hopkins and his big mouth. Let me apologize in his stead. What's taking you so long though, Hopkins? Hemorrhoids acting up again?
What are you talking about? I've never had...
Hopkins slowly got to his feet after fidgeting for a moment. I noticed that his pockets were stuffed full, but I didn't bother to point it out.
Well, I suppose this place is as good as any.
As soon as I opened the door, Faust suddenly strode up to me and blocked my path.
Dante, close your eyes and look for the star hiding in the dark. Though not radiant, it still winks to reveal itself. The star of truth.
The star. This one won't hurt, right?
It shouldn't cause you any pain since you're simply locating it.
Something about the way Faust put that bothered me, but I decided to trust her and blocked my sight.
When you open your eyes, the star that seemed so distant will be returning your gaze.
That's beautiful. That light. Is it only visible to me?
Not quite. Through you, now all of us can see it. Even though we're inside a dungeon, we can now reap the benefits of your ability through the star.
Can you please hurry up with the clock then? I think I dislocated my shoulder.
The clock? It wasn't just for show?
That's not all it does. They have a really neat power. You should come and take a look, Yuri.
Will no one recognize the pain I endure?
That felt real good.
I'm dying over here.
What an amazing clock you got. I haven't seen that kind of technology anywhere.
That has to be on the level of a singularity. Which wing could be behind it? Hopkins stared at my head with palpable greed. I tried to ignore it, but looking at his stuffed pockets again.
Dante, why are you clutching your head like that?
It's nothing.
Miss Faust, is it within our manager's capacity to use the clock's power to restore the lives of the guides, should they perish?
The clock only works for us sinners.
Aw, gee, I suppose that's for the better. Imagine you're dragged right back to life with a gaping hole in your stomach. Wouldn't that suck? Nah, you know what? Dying from getting a hole punched in your gut's a pretty lucky way to go. You'd be a goner in seconds.
Huh? Wait! A tendril erupts from the wall and penetrates Aya's abdomen in an instant.
All units, prepare for battle.
What did I tell you? I've always been a lucky girl.
Aya!
Her life is already cut short. Come now. You've got to keep it together, especially in times like these, yeah?
But...
That was a rather unusual form of attack. It is likely that we are facing an abnormality.
Executive Manager, orders, please.
I felt pity for Yuri. She looked at Aya's corpse and then back to us, tears welling in her eyes. Nevertheless, Yuri, Hopkins, and Aya, those three I can't revive. We have to fight now if we don't want any more casualties.
A wise decision, Executive Manager. You can make sense of that ticking?
Otis leveled a fiery glare at Hopkins, but soon reminded herself of her priorities and took a sharp breath before bellowing out.
The Executive Manager has given their commands, lackeys. Surround the enemy in formation. The target is the uniform ahead.
Okay.
To be honest, I'm not sure if you can say that thing has a form. The shadowed entity, its silhouette greater than a human's by several orders of magnitude, filled the room as its tendrils extended insidiously towards us. It was approaching, invoking in us a sense of terror unlike any foe we've faced thus far.
You have encountered a new abnormality. Please view its abnormality guide.
The Abnormality Guide. The Abnormality Guide lists information about the abnormality. The guide will gradually fill up as you battle the abnormality. Raise the observation level by repeatedly encountering and battling the abnormality. Higher observation levels slightly increase the damage you deal against the abnormality.
You may encounter abnormalities with multiple parts in the dungeons you explore. In such cases, each part may have different resistances, passives, and skills. This abnormality's weak point is its fruit part. Target the fruit. Commencing action. You destroyed a part of the abnormality. Let us consult the abnormality guide to see if anything has been updated.
The vines growing on the ground are a hassle. Maybe there will be a chance to get rid of them.
You destroyed the fruit part. Physical resistance values for destroyed parts become fatal. Please note that parts marked as severable cannot be attacked again once destroyed, unless they regenerate. Progressing through the encounter will unlock the enemy's passive information. Reading the details and clues in the enemy's information window is crucial to winning certain battles. Continue suppressing this abnormality.
Roger that.
During focus encounters, you, the manager, may occasionally be tasked with making key decisions in choice events. The tide of battle may drastically shift depending on your choices, so choose wisely.
Choice events. These choice events function like skill checks. They have a required sin affinity and a threshold to pass. Each choice event presents an affinity advantage. Select a sinner with a matching skill affinity to increase your chances of success. Passing or failing the check will determine the outcome. A heart torn into thousands of pieces must be kept from all eyes. Thus it burrowed into the ground and tangled itself. Yet, someone has to pull up these thorny roots, as there is no wound that can remain unearthed.
The sinners gave each other looks. Being coiled in piercing, sharp pain was something to avoid even in one's dreams. The dry earth must be upturned. Which sinner was up to the task?
Oh, this shouldn't be a big deal at all, huh?
Gregor walked with shaky steps. With bare hands they dug up the roots. In their hands were the doubts of others. The sinner realized that while the injury may heal, distrust might take deep root in their heart. The effects of entangling roots expired.
Splendid strategy, manager.
Obvious outcome.
The fruit was born again. Maybe this is a chance to destroy it once and for all.
That's it?
I heard abnormalities were supposed to be so powerful that even suppressing them is a dangerous task.
It's the Clipoth deterrence in action.
What? Coffee pots?
A force that weakens abnormalities. Its original purpose is to safely supervise them in containment. As we continue our assignment in collecting more golden boughs, the deterrence will weaken as well. The battle didn't get too complicated this time, but...
So we might be going up against abnormalities we can't kill no matter how many times we throw our lives against it later down the line. That's a terrifying thought. Where'd its corpse go anyway? I'm pretty sure that attack did it in. It was felled without a doubt, all thanks to your exceptional command, Executive Manager. It couldn't have just shot up into the sky, could it? Brilliant insight as always, Executive Manager. Such a possibility cannot be ruled out.
Don't you see how thick the ceiling between us and the surface is?
over there.
Yuri gestured towards something listlessly. The shock of losing Aya must have shaken her up pretty badly, but seeing her endure and keep her chin up, I figured it was best to just let her be instead of trying to comfort her with a few words. Is that an egg?
It's the core of the abnormality. When suppressed via appropriate measures, it will be reduced to this condensed ovate form.
And it'll hatch once enough time has passed here.
Hatch? You've gotta be joking.
You mean those things can't be killed permanently?
Abnormalities simply cannot die. It's one of the factors that contributed to L-Corp's massive energy production.
When I used to work here, my job was to put the cores back in their containment units. Now things have changed. Is there anything we can do before this egg hatches?
Limbus Company has a department dedicated to dealing with abnormalities like this. They'll handle the retrieval of the egg.
Right. The after team, was it? I remember hearing about them during orientation. What's stopping you from calling them now?
The transmission device is on Mephistopheles.
Figures.
No need to worry. Once we have the golden bough, we'll have to return whether we like it or not.
We went down another floor. Never thought I'd come back here.
Most of Lobotomy Corporation's facilities consist of multiple floors. Each floor should be occupied by an abnormality marking its domain.
Seriously? There's more of them?
So, where'd you figure all that info about what we'll face and stuff?
Faust knows it all.
The guide said the before team does reconnaissance in advance.
So you only know that because you have ties to the staff.
That information does not contradict my statement.
In any case, this means we should expect at least one major threat on every floor. It'd be idiotic to advance into the unknown with hostiles on our 6. Looks like we have no choice but to take them down as we go.
You took the words right out of Faust's mouth.
Is it not an ideal thing to be able to convey your intentions before they have been verbalized?
Dante, it's time to see the star.
I'm starting to feel like I'm being taken for granted.
Need a hand?
Another veteran appeared from the dark, his gait grim and heavy. He must have been a high-ranking soldier once. Despite its age, his badge still gleamed.
Manager Gregor? I think I know your face. But from where? I was the head manager of your team. It's incredible how a deserter like you has the audacity to kill my men. They were once your own comrades, you know.
Look, the war ended a decade ago. Haven't any of you learned to move on from playing soldiers?
Ended? Nothing has ended. Nothing has ended. Damn it. The war might have ended for you when you deserted G-Corps. But for the rest of us, we never left the battlefield, even to this day.
As much as I'd rather not relate to you this way, I'm not really that different here.
Then you ought to understand, Manager Gregor. Only one verdict awaits deserters.
You say that like it means something, but it's against company policy to carry out summary execution for personal revenge, boss man.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
Next.
Is that all?
Roger that.
Where do I go next?
I got a clean hit.
An obvious outcome.
Perhaps the time spent off the battlefield has rusted the old soldier's prowess. The head manager, who must have defeated countless enemies in his prime, was now facing his own end.
People used to respect you, Gregor!
I never asked them to.
Don't proceed any further. Only hell awaits you.
Sorry, but I don't think I can follow your advice. I ought to be a go-getter if I don't want to be fired.
Have you abandoned your honor for some pittance?
Sold it in a bundle along with my medal. The landlord was getting real impatient about my rent, you see.
The head manager smiled bitterly as he expired.
You're no different from us. In the end, we're nothing but disgusting pests.
He took a few more shallow breaths, then ceased to move.
Hey, mind if I borrow a cig?
Just this once.
Gregor put the borrowed cigarette next to the one he already held in his mouth, lit it, then tossed it on the chest of the deceased commander.
Sorry, didn't want to share mine with that thing.
Ryoshu gave a snort. For a short while, the smoke from Gregor's cigarette lingered in the air with prevailing silence.
Let me show them what art is.
I don't see any signs of those ex-soldiers around here or up ahead.
The commander did warn us not to go further. As we proceeded, we discovered bodies that seemed to have been here for quite some time. There are, Elcor's employees.
I see traces of blunt instruments. All the bodies share them, in fact.
A management report. This document contains instructions for keeping abnormalities in check. But employees tasked with managing an abnormality usually memorize the instructions perfectly, down to each minute detail. They wouldn't have needed these. So, why?
I dare say none of them had the necessary information when the abnormality escaped.
If the eggs weren't moved into containment yet, that could be the case. There are way too many corpses here. What kind of abnormality could have massacred all these people? Hang on. What's that smell?
You see, our office purchased a rather expensive gear the other day. What's this bloke on about? Sources suggested that toxin levels will begin to rise after a certain floor.
I've been bleeding from my ears for a while now. Should I be worried? No battle is fought without adversity.
I was also told that continued exposure may cause bleeding.
How come you're okay, though? It's the anti-abnormality gas grenade supplied to employees. One must have gone off somewhere among the bodies here.
Yes, it seems the toxicity level is pretty high around this area.
Hopkins had put on a gas mask before we noticed.
Hey now, what about us?
We weren't granted any additional supplies.
You slippery rat. You knew about this? Bloody scum, that's what you are.
Heathcliff broke off mid-sentence and dropped to one knee.
Elevated emotional states accelerate blood flow. In other words, the toxin will spread faster. Try to remain calm, minimize movement, and breathe at regular intervals. Hopkins, why? Why didn't you warn me?
Oh, I've got a question for you too, Yuri. Why would I make our office squander its precious funds on expensive gadgets for a deadweight like you to waste? Let's be real. It's a miracle that you managed to join us in the first place. Aya may have taken a liking to you, enough to give you special treatment, but now that she's dead, who gives a damn? Sneaky blighter. How do you live with yourself? Don't be silly. Everything's fair game for a fixer. Hearing that the Red Gaze had company tickled my curiosity, but as it turns out, you were just a ragtag band of lunatics who thought it'd be a good idea to waltz right into these death traps without even a bit of research. Can't believe we gotta let that tosser carry on.
Picking up on the hostility, Hopkins backed off and made a quick dash for the exit.
Well, at least I managed to grab an armful of enkephalin thanks to you. I'll write in my report that you all went missing, because death by asphyxiation is just too embarrassing. Ta-ta!
Yuri slumped to the floor, watching blood pour from her nose to her hands. And she wasn't the only one. Rhodia, Heathcliff, and the other sinners were writhing in pain as blood gushed out of them. Gregor?
I took this with me so you could have something to remember her by.
He was holding the same type of gas mask as the one Hopkins wore. But why?
So, Miss Aya, she... looked after you, huh? This is as good as yours, then. As for our unprepared band of lunatics, we do have a way out. Don't worry about us.
Coughing up blood, Yuri put on the mask.
I know he's right. I know it's hard for someone without connections like myself to be appreciated by an office. No matter how many errands I run for them, all day, all night. There were only 3 minutes left until the branch was locked down. Initiating site burial. The doors were about to close on me. Energy transfer is 85% complete.
Yuri, don't leave me behind! Yuri! So what was I supposed to do? Is it so wrong that I survived? Should I have been buried alive alongside my coworkers? And the whole building was being locked down just to keep the abnormalities from getting out.
It is a sin. Down here it is.
That does sting a bit, Gregor. I stood there blankly for a moment, and snapped back and looked over at the sinners. Half of them were already dead on the ground, and Ishmael's head drooped just after she said her last words. A sin?
But... So what, buddy? You've got to live on like it's nobody's business. Laying guilt on yourself over spilled milk will wear your heart out.
Once Gregor drew his last breath, Yuri and I remained the only survivors. Don't worry too much about us. I can take them back there and revive them. I knew all Yuri could hear was the mechanical ticking, but I did my best to communicate my words to her nonetheless.
I know.
And she did not speak again for a while. After a long stretch of heavy, awkward gloom, the toxic gas finally cleared.
Looks like it's okay now.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you a hand. Let's go bring your people back to life.
With that, Yuri took off her gas mask and calmly carried the sinners on her shoulders, one by one. Unsure how to respond to the look on her face, I decided to keep quiet.
Roger that.
I spotted a vulnerability.
An opportunity has arrived.
Charging in.
Next.
Where do I go next?
Could have been more beautiful. An obvious outcome.
Were those abnormalities responsible for killing all the employees? I doubt that. If my guess is right... Please keep your eyes forward, Executive Manager. There's another one of them. A humanoid being wearing the head of a statue was slumped against a wall.
Hi. Are you here to draw your lot? Gather all your IDs and give them to me. Then we'll find the winner.
Its hand was barely grasping onto the strap of an employee ID card. Alex was the name written on it. Alex.
Gone nuts, has she? And what's that babble about winners?
Some abnormalities had to be placated with regular offerings as part of the managerial guidelines.
You shouldn't go that way. They will find you.
You had to sacrifice people to it, didn't you?
It's your turn to draw
People? What happens if no human sacrifice is made? We never found out. We'd never deviated from the procedures. I guess it escaped and started killing people left and right.
That abnormality must have been one spineless bugger. Does it thwack victims in the back of the head?
What do you mean?
Did you all get jabbed in the eyes or what? Those wounds were clearly left by humans. You can tell they were beating the shite out of each other. Those thickos killed each other in a fight.
But why would they do that?
It's clear as day.
Probably figured they could last a bit even after the branch got buried. Keep up the stream of human sacrifices nice and steady, and rescue might eventually arrive. Guess they kept the lots going for a few months, buying themselves time with each sacrifice. Problem though, you think the one who drew the short straw would always go quietly? If I were them, I'd rather bash the nearest bloke's head in than let him kill me. Better them than me, ain't that right? And the rest is history, I bet.
And the last survivor put on the stone mask belonging to the statue heads, believing that it'll save her from being sacrificed. That can't be. Alex isn't the kind of person who'd kill just so she could save her own skin.
How do you know that? You can't even be sure if that's actually Alex or not.
Let me give you a tip. You'll be much better off going on your own foot before they come for you.
Let us be on our way. This person will perish before long. While everyone else moved along, Yuri remained in place and kept on staring at the statue-clad individual. It wasn't your fault. You know it's not, right?
Leave me behind, Yuri. Please leave me.
Time to go. They're rummaging through corpses looking for something. Relentless demands for an offering ring in the ears. They look like they might jump us at any second. You see a dying person nearby gasping for air. Should you offer this person up? Or... don't offer the person. Angered by your inaction, the clay dolls attacked you. Combat encounter. Win the next battle to gain ego gift, Bloodied Mask of a Devotee.
I was craving a workout. Time to smash stuff up.
Sure, no problem.
Roger that.
Where do I go next? Down they sink.
An obvious outcome.
Ego gift get. Bloodied Mask of a Devotee. All allies gain +5 offense level and +5 defense level.
Next.
An obvious outcome.
The abnormality looks upset. It seems to want something, but what should we give? Charging in. I spotted a vulnerability.
There are many ways to calm one down, but this abnormality seems to like gifts the most. A fresh batch of blood might be able to appease it. Offer a clay doll. You gave a living clay doll as tribute. Satiated, the abnormality calmed down for a moment. All of Doomsday Calendar's parts gain 3 attack power down.
The enemy has been stranded. I got a clean hit! Piss easy. Piss easy.
The heat of the abnormality is wearing everyone down. We'll have to make an offering to calm its wrath.
Piss easy.
To weaken the flame, you'll need cool water. Since we aren't carrying any buckets of water, we should offer up someone cool instead. Offer a clay doll. You gave a living clay doll as tribute. The flame shrunk to a flicker. Doomsday Calendar loses 100 HP. Frenzy of Doomsday Calendar expired. This floor is crawling with maggots. These bugs aren't so bad after the last floor's abnormality. Don't want to see anything like that ever again. Sure, Greg would be glad to hear that. Aren't you, Buggy Buddy? But Gregor wasn't paying attention to Rhodia.
Don't you all hear something?
We've been hearing a constant growl. Rhodia, are you really that hungry at a time like this? Hey, don't you know you're supposed to let that kind of stuff slide? Come on, girl.
No, not that. It's like... For the first time on the expedition, Gregor walked ahead of the group and opened the door next to him, as if by some compulsion.
Wait, that's a containment unit!
It's like... that time. No, the door was already open.
Gregor gazed blankly into the room, lost in the shower of the outpouring golden light. Greg... Did we travel back in time? I see an overcast sky. From a distance, screams and roars twine into a warped cacophony. The ear-shattering boom of artillery and war cries suffuse the air with its acrid sting. Isn't it obvious? This is a battlefield. The heart of it.
Am I dreaming? Is this a nightmare? Why am I back here? So why the hell are we in a bloody battlefield? Did we trigger a trap or something?
No, we're on the right track. The essence of the technology we're looking for is not far from here.
You mean the Golden Bough?
Correct. Do you recognize when this was?
Anyone with functioning eyes should know at a glance. I actually don't. I confess, straight up.
I cannot possibly blame you for not recognizing this, Executive Manager, as you have no eyes in the conventional sense. Sure, whatever you say. Otis cleared her throat as if to mask her embarrassment, then narrowed her gaze at the battlefield. Judging from the colorful wave of garish flags showing off the factions in play, this is at least 70 days into the Smoke War. This concludes briefing, Manager. That's when someone came up from behind and suddenly tugged at Heathcliff's shirt.
Are you out of your minds? Take shelter now! You'll age rapidly if exposed to that bomb's blast! The outpost next to ours turned into a nursing home. They can't even walk without sticks!
Who the hell are you, and why do you act like you know us?
Oh, Manager Gregor! My respects, sir!
As soon as he noticed Gregor, the bandaged man snapped to attention and saluted him.
You wouldn't recognize me, sir. I'm Toma from Biomimetics Maintenance. I thought you were a part of the advanced party. I didn't expect you to find you here at the rear, sir. Are you on your way to the front? I could help you get there since the augmentation on my legs allows me to jump...
Ugh, that sounds gross. Toma cast a curious glance toward Rhodia.
You! What did you just...
Hey, Toma. So you're an assistant manager or regular staff?
Sir, yes, sir. I'm an assistant private, sir.
You see, she's a new hire who had a procedure done not too long ago, so she's still dealing with the delirium side effects. You know how it is. I'll give her a good talking to.
I see. We must be getting desperate sending new hires into battle.
Yeah, we're sorry for the trouble. I've got to take her somewhere real quick.
Gregor practically yanked himself out of the conversation and hurried to Faust.
Just what's going on, Faust? These are my memories.
We're in the fathoms of your ego, to be precise. An open path in your psyche. In other words, we've entered your heart and mind, Gregor.
It's an honor, Manager. Ready to sortie. I was craving a workout.
Sure, no problem.
I'll tag along.
I think I'm gonna throw up. Everything's wobbling.
It would appear that psychogenic pressure is rising. But you should be fine.
I think I once had an unsettling nightmare. Maybe I'm still in one, even now. In this dream, there are only two colors in the room where I stand. The blue covering every wall, and a dangling dot of red. I know how to get out of here, too. All I had to do was stretch out my arm and cut the hanging apple. The people in blue coats seemed to think I failed to understand that. They would come in several times a day and explain it to me, over and over. Unfortunately for them, that wasn't the part I struggled to understand. When I finally gave up thinking about it, and the sliced apple fell to the floor, the door opened. I don't remember what drove me to do it. Maybe it was the mental exhaustion. Or maybe I just decided to give up. Either way, what I do remember is my desire to break free from the nightmare.
You finally did it. I knew you could. The surgery was successful after all. You just have to keep it up. Keep chopping up the apples in front of you. Simple, isn't it? Oh, right. Happy 15th birthday.
Okay. My escape came in the form of resignation and submission. One day, as I awoke from my unsettling dreams, I had found myself transformed into some hideous pest. I cut apples in half. Some were hard, some crumbly, some were soft, some sappy. The sugary smell made me sick sometimes. At some point, I realized something. I thought I'd woken up from the dream, but I was still right in the middle of that nightmare.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
got a clean hit. Next.
An obvious outcome.
Already there. Next.
Still in a battlefield.
It's the same place as before. Something's changed, though. Someone came up from behind and suddenly tugged at Heathcliff's shirt.
Are you out of your minds? Get to shelter now! You'll age rapidly if exposed to that bomb's blast. The nest next door is turned into a nursing home. They can't even walk without sticks.
Hold on. Isn't he the same guy we just...
But don't you worry, because Manager Gregor is with us. He doesn't suffer side effects like the rest of us do, and he can regenerate too. He was operated on by none other than Hermann, our most skilled director. A hero like you shouldn't be on the rear guard. I'll give you a ride. What the hell? Get away from me!
4 pairs of wings emerged from his back, clicking and twitching.
Why are you running? You should be taking the lead on the front lines with our G-Corps banner held high.
I never wanted any of this. Not the procedure nor the war.
Take the lead.
Toma's mouth tears open and a pair of long antennae begin to break through his skin.
Yikes, we gotta fight them again. My stomach is gonna turn. What is that display of weakness? Do you wish to be punished for insubordination? I think we should run here. An excellent plan, Executive Manager. Knowing when to strike and when to withdraw is an excellent quality of commander.
The hell is her deal?
Retreat is not an option.
I don't get it. I heard every employee under the corporation had modifications, but it couldn't have been this foul.
What we see here may differ from actual accounts. This path was not paved by Gregor's memories, but his heart.
This is how he felt in his heart about his own allies. Did all the employees in your wing receive the augmentation procedure?
Most did.
Was it done with their consent? That's so...
Did the people in Alcor consent to offering themselves up to abnormalities?
I heard that was written in the contract. We were never properly informed, though. They said such red tape should be skipped for efficient management. That we should face the fear. Meaning, everyone who joined the corporation agreed to it, knowingly or not.
Can guess how it went for us, then.
You hear a faint voice.
Please help.
Do you follow the sound, or... Check out the source of the voice. A soldier was crushed under rubble, gasping in agony.
Please just kill me. It hurts too much.
You can't ignore this person. Who will be ordered to bring this soldier to peace?
Oh, this shouldn't be a big deal at all, huh?
Thank you. The soldier's life was delivered a coup de grace by the knife. The human rhythm that rose through the blade soon ceased, and the soldier was eased into eternal rest. Ego gift, shoddy dressing obtained.
Splendid strategy, Manager.
Ego gift get, shoddy dressing. All allies gain plus 10% max HP.
What's the delay, Yuri?
Give me a second, please. The gas mask fell off my bag. I don't see it serving any practical purpose now. You're only weighing yourself down. I mean, it's Aya's memento. You indulge in the most pointless activity in the world, and you aren't even from N-Corp. Tie it the other way. Sorry? The knot. It'll come loose again if you tie it that way. There's a sailor's knot I learned on the boat. I'll teach you how to do it back on the bus. Oh, thank you.
What's this? Since when were you two so chummy?
Yuri, you know what? Why don't you join our company while you're at it? Me? That's... I know. We need to get the okay from Virgilius or his superiors and all that. But a little suggestion shouldn't hurt.
I wonder.
Plus, pink hair makes a perfect mascot to represent us. Come on, won't you give it some thought? Please? A mascot? Yuri smiled for the first time, albeit faintly.
Need a hand?
The war was over. Yet my doppelganger still held that silly pose, that confident expression. It's not the kind of face I'd make. Though, gotta give it to him for making the hair on my arm look as grotesque as it really is. Who drew this? I've grown fond of humor. Long years of drifting in the nightmare must have made me yearn for any hint of liveliness.
G-Corp scum should be sent to the gallows. The whole lot of them.
Someone murmurs, spitting on the floor. I didn't have to look at them to know who or what they were talking about. Knowing that, I felt nauseous.
Sir, are you alright? Hey, something wrong? You look pale.
I was just on the subway? The hell are you blathering about?
Greg, we're still on the battlefield. Gregor rummaged around in his pockets for a cigarette out of habit, then froze in place. It must have dawned on him as it did on me. The rest of the sinners seemed to have understood what was happening. Toma is going to grab us and give a warning any second now.
Are you?
Look, Toma, I'm starting to get a little sick of your line reading, so I'll say it once. We're not out of our minds, and the aging bomb ain't gonna hit us.
No.
Instead of elaborating, he points up. I need help. I don't want to die. Toma was crushed to a pulp right before our eyes. There's only one thing to say in a situation like this. Run! All troops, retreat! We muster up everything we can to run, but the airborne hand is ever persistent and shows no sign of letting up.
We're all gonna get turned into pancakes! Got any bright ideas, smartass?
I'm listening. There are too many variables to consider in the fathoms of the ego. I can't be hasty with my judgment.
There's no cause for hesitation. A true hero succumbs not to tribulation. I don't think I want to recover a flattened body. Oh, sorry, Dante. Didn't mean it that way. I was tempted to snap back at her, but keeping my mouth shut so the group could focus on making a run for it seemed like the sensible thing to do.
Still thinking, are you? Huh? Well, are you, Miss Knows-It-All?
If it is an immediate solution you seek, then I have not obtained it yet. The only thing that can be said for certain is that our objective is not nearby. Dante would have responded strongly otherwise.
Me? Are you joking? That's all you've got?
Heathcliff furrowed his brows, ready to snap at the unhelpful savant. But after a sudden close shave with a massive palm, He began speeding up without a word.
Gregor?
Whoa, hey! What? What the hold up? I think I see now. This world is a product of my mind.
Gregor took a breather, then looked up at the sky.
We shouldn't run away from that hand. Did you finally get the crackers or what?
Gregor, are you sure?
My life has never been mine to live. It only makes sense that resisting is meaningless in this reflection of my mind. In that case, letting the inevitable happen might be the answer.
Are you all serious?
It's not like there's any other way. We're all exhausted.
Besides, look at the patterns on its nails. You don't see that kind of polish just anywhere. If that hand belongs to who I think it does, she will not stop chasing us. Faust, you said this is a path in my heart, right? Then I can tell you this for sure. It's about to hit a dead end. Be it the nightmare or the road, I never once strayed from that woman's control.
Who is Gregor talking about? And what does he mean by a nightmare? As much as I wanted to ask him.
Might as well.
Soon enough, the giant hand cast its shadow over us, descending. Just before it reached us, it stopped to hold us in its grasp. Everything went dark. I felt a disorienting nausea of being lifted into the sky. Only Faust and I managed to find our footing, while everyone else stumbled around from the vertigo. We found ourselves in another battlefield, albeit one that was more familiar to us.
Roger that. Next.
Is that all?
I spotted a vulnerability. Downward sink.
I got a clean hit.
Where do I go next?
Score? You owe me a treat, Dante.
I will do my utmost.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
Piss easy.
Is that
I got
all?
a clean hit.
Charging in. Where do I go next? Downward sink.
Next. I got a clean hit.
Piss easy.
Dante, something about this containment unit seems different from the others, does it not?
Yeah, it really does. Wait, is this?
Yes, that is most likely where we can find the abnormality in which the golden bough has taken root.
We did manage to come this far, huh?
Say, Gregor, when we go back to the bus, can I teach Caroline how to use a map?
Yeah, sounds good. I'm sure she'll like it.
I doubt that.
Sinclair shook his head, then dry retched afterwards.
It's nice to have a place to go back to.
Maybe the golden bough lies inside the apple.
Roger that! I got a clean hit!
The apple's body broke, and the raging fruit still grew. Could the golden bough really be in there? I'll go check it out, Yuri said to the others. The sinner with a bug's arm seems nervous about this. Does he want to go with her, perhaps? You can't just send Yuri out there alone. What sinner will be able to keep her safe? The fruit's cracked shell suddenly began to rattle as if it would jump at any moment. Gregor managed to escape, but it seems Yuri couldn't. The fruit's flesh melted to form a new body. Don't feel too guilty about it. One lost life is better than two. The golden apple formed a new body. The abnormality devoured Yuri in one bite. She was gone without a trace. I can save the other sinners, but there's nothing I can do about Yuri. Without a word, Gregor hacked and slashed away at the abnormality, as if he expected to find Yuri unscathed by slicing the apple open. The mass of maggots fall apart in a hail of silent screams. Beyond that, I see a wave of radiant golden light. Is that the golden bough? Just as I begin to approach it, the apple begins to tremble.
Excuse me. Are you the people from Limbus Company?
Yuri? You're okay? Even though I had clearly seen it devour her, I couldn't stop myself from asking.
When we go back to the bus, can I teach Caroline how to...
Then I saw her glimpses of pink locks of hair that Rhodia took a liking to.
Yuri's head stood motionless, facing Gregor. Her face was upright. However, the Yuri we knew, the Yuri who accompanied us, was always hunched over, slouched and laden, as though it were the obligation of the sole survivor to carry the weight of her dead colleagues. So, I had no reason to hesitate to warn him. "That's not Yuri, Gregor!"
No, I don't think it is either.
Gregor accepts it calmly. He then outstretches his arm, sending it flying towards Yuri. Yet, it soon pauses midair.
I didn't want to die.
Cut her down, Gregor! I don't know if this is the right thing to do as the manager,
None of us wanted to die.
but I had to shout at Gregor now to stop him from breaking. Cut it now!
I don't want to die. This is...
The verminous arm stopped inches away from piercing the civilian's throat. I pulled against it with all my might, but it wouldn't budge.
Please don't kill me. Just take my money, whatever you want.
Let the woman go, otherwise I will stop you by force!
My arm. Cut off the arm, now.
This is your final warning! Release her now, or cut it off!
As the dismembered arm falls to the ground, she slides down the wall, gasping. However, peace doesn't last long. The arm starts regenerating from its twitching stump.
Are you alright, sir? No. Stay away from me. Don't come any closer.
The regrown arm rushes forward as if it remembered the pain it suffered mere moments ago.
You have my utmost respect, Manager Gregor, sir.
Don't do that. I never even wanted to be a part of this war.
What am I supposed to do? Is it so wrong that I survived?
Please live. Just live on. None of us asked for this to happen. None of us asked to be in this mess.
To be so close, here, on the very periphery of the end, only to be stopped moments before your labor bears fruit. How regrettable. Well, we'll take it. Opportunities left unclaimed will only become null and void.
Yuri's head tumbled to the ground. It wasn't Gregor's doing. Yuri's mouth opens and lets something out. It was a tree branch radiating a bright golden glow.
Seeking the bough, were you?
You...
A bit small, isn't it? I'm Herman. We'll be seeing each other often. The reason being, we need those boughs, and you can find them. You won't die, but we will kill you.
Herman nudges Yuri's head with her foot.
All in due time, of course. We'll take good care of the golden bough you found.
Gubo, my dear compatriot, is this the path you have chosen?
Indeed it is. Only few remain now. It's been a while, brother. Do you know how filthy your clothing smells? If only your family were here to see the sorry state you're in. Some reunion this has turned into.
How are you treating that gift of mine, son? I didn't invest in you just to see you in such a mess.
I never asked for this. Not once.
You should at least finish unwrapping the present. That little arm isn't all there is to it.
All right now, that's enough greetings. The man called Jia Huan claps twice. Then everything went dark, like waking from a long nightmare to the break of dawn. After some time passed.
And I thought this would be an easy enough mission for you. It really is something,
Your gall to come crawling back here after losing the golden bough right before your eyes. Have I overestimated you? Why don't you give me an excuse, Miss Faust?
As it turns out, immortality wasn't the solution to everything.
Anything to say for yourself, Dante?
There was another group going after the Golden Bough. You had to have known this, so why didn't you warn me?
They're asking about the other faction that sought the Golden Bough.
Faust placidly relayed my words to Virgilius.
Don't tell me you're blaming me for this. Tell me then, Dante, why would we bother sending 12 whole combatants to a place with no threats? After hiring fixers to guide them too.
That's... Enough of that, Manager Bud. It's my fault. If you want someone to blame, I'm right here.
How fascinating. Built a sense of camaraderie between you already. Well, I do suppose it's not too bad to cover up for each other, since you're all in the same bus. Just know that sticking up for one another doesn't make up for your incompetence.
We got a call after Team Spec Ops Section 4 has just gone underground for their job.
That sounds about right. Someone has to salvage the ego and abnormalities left there. A real shame that the essence was lost, though.
This is getting excessive. Failure is a common thing on the battlefield. If an objective isn't met, you devise another plan and redeploy. Are you sure it wasn't your expectations that were too high for our first mission? I will have you know that the executive manager's performance was nothing short of outstanding.
I suppose we'll leave it at that. You're not entirely wrong.
Certainly.
There seemed to be an uncanny tension between Virgilius and Faust. But right now, I had neither the energy nor the willpower left in me to get inquisitive. The bus reeked with the metallic stench of blood and gore that clung to our outfits, but no one thought to open the windows, and no one had the urge to have a change of clothes. All of us just sat in place, dwelling on silence. Gregor, who had the most defeated look of them all, stared despondently out the window. Then he suddenly went to hang something from his pocket near the windshield of the bus.
That guy, what did you put on Mephi's head?
A memento. A memento for two. I had a sister just about Yuri's age. That's all there is. I considered giving him a pep talk, but the idea quickly dissipated. Ishmael wore a grieving look, Sinclair was quietly weeping, and Rhodia let out a distressed sigh. If they couldn't offer him any encouragement, what good would I do?
Charon, won't this get in your way?
No, Charon will be fine.
All right, let's hit the road.
Vroom vroom.
The bus slowly grumbled forward. The gas mask hanging by the windshield gently swayed like an ornament.
Of chasing down shadows, all that remains are vain memories, as if a fire swept right over me. All that's in my hands is ash dust. I have run away without rest. Those times gone by got me choked up. Will I end up missing them too? A long, long ways from now,
When I look back on those memories, I sure hope I can smile. Whatever time I have left to me now, I need to take my steps forward, burning myself up until I am no more. I must look just like a candle, without a moment to breathe. I was thrown into turbulent days. I hope that I can take my path a long, long ways from now. When I look back on those memories, I sure hope I can smile. Let me fly far, far away, so I can reach the stars like a bird upon the sky. This night will visit me again. I'm sure it's alright, since I can live on. It's alright.